The last few years have brought immense changes to our industry, and many distributors look for ways to leverage their capabilities to address the unique needs of their customers. One of these has been a general shift towards electrification, though that's certainly not the only emerging trend that's been on the distribution industry's radar. Today we're joined by Eric Packer. Eric Packer has been with Rexel Gexpro for 28 years, holding multiple roles with the company, including automation sales, national accounts, branch manager, regional manager, director of international projects group, and region president. Today we want to talk about some of the big business trends and related opportunities that Rexel is exploring in today's distribution market. Obviously, electrification has been a huge business trend for distributors. What kind of things has Rexel been doing in order to maintain a leadership position in this market category?
There's no doubt that the electrification has a transformational impact on our industry, first and foremost. What we've really done, there's kind of the first piece of this is really understanding the incentives that are available from the federal perspective, the grants, the tax incentives, the actual funding that's available for these projects from federal level through the state level, all the way down to municipal level. So our first thing is to understand how those funds are being dispersed and what qualifications are required to access those, so we can help our customers, understand what qualifications they need to make and connect them with those fundings or funds that are available to be able to execute and capitalize on that to make those projects a reality. So that's step number one for us. The second piece of that is really around our resources. How do we help support these efforts from a technical perspective? We've aligned our resources and expertise from a national perspective so that we can work, with our local branches and resources to assist them in understanding that, to be able to convey it to our customers and pursue those opportunities jointly with our customers. And, I look at those spaces really kind of defined around the solar side of things with the PV and energy storage systems becoming a big part of kind of hand in hand. That when you see solar now, it's usually coupled with energy storage to be able to harness that and utilize that whenever needed versus just only when the sun was up. So we have a PV and a energy storage national team that helps educate us and work with our teams locally. The second one is the EV charging space with the electrification of the vehicles and what's required from the installation of EV chargers and being able to have a network of chargers across the country. So we've got a national leader and team that works very close with that space as well with our manufacturers, and then obviously with kind of what we see as a balance of system. The chargers and the softwares are great for the EV space, but we have to have kind of the complete balance of system to be able to make those installations happen in a scheduled time that our customers are looking for. So we also bring in contractors to help with that installation if we need to. And then really our last piece is our Rexel Energy Solutions. It's our specialty business that is focused around working with national ESCOs and looking at enterprise fleet opportunities. So big customer solutions that coast to coast need that type of support and expertise. So we've got a lot of expertise in our Rexel Energy Solutions group that can assist with that and be able to go follow our customers around from a national perspective. So I'd say those kind of positions. And then lastly, our existing customers, making sure they're educated on what we're capable of doing, being that easy button for them to be able to come to us. We can help educate, but also offer the solutions that best fit for what they're looking for.
Okay, great. And, when it comes to that education, I'm just curious, are you finding that your customers are often surprised by what that ROI looks like when you factor in some of the incentives and some of the, energy efficiency gains that they're getting? Were they not aware of that?
A lot of them, there's different levels of funding, right? So they may have realized there's one source of funding, but finding additional funding that may, layer on top of that and even make the payback better. So that's why I said, start with the funding, because it definitely kind of validates the projects from the return on investment and makes it more attractive to do these types of things, and which is obviously the foundation of why they put this out there. So that's been a big piece of our ability to work with our customers and help them tap into that and then perform once the funding's been available and qualified, then executing the projects for them.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So outside of electrification, I'd love to know what other emerging opportunities does the company really have on their radar right now?
Yeah, data centers. It's amazing with AI, right? The amount of information, how strategic information and data is nowadays, and it's driving these massive data centers to be able to store that and capitalize on it. So we've seen a huge installation and continued demand for data centers, which consume a tremendous amount of power to operate these things. So not only in constructing the data centers themselves and helping with schedules and making sure that these things are built on time, because we are seeing some availability challenges in the manufacturing segment for some of the power equipment that's required in these things. But reducing the cycle of the construction schedule, and then evaluating additional opportunities to create value there in technology, and then cost savings around products for us. So, and then with the data centers, because of the demand on the power generation, it kind of goes hand in hand. They're looking for, as they build these with the consumption requirements, trying to find renewable energy sources to power these facilities. And companies that see that go hand in hand. So as they're building the data centers, they feel a responsibility to generate new power from renewable energy sources that would be able to handle that. So we're seeing a lot of solar, even alternate sources like hydrogen and nuclear energy are being talked about as well, which is unorthodox in that kind of space. So we see that as a very strong segment for us, and one that we can really create some value and participate in. The other area that we see is in high-tech segment, with new chip manufacturing facilities being built for the requirement of the CHIP Act here in the United States. So massive chip manufacturing projects that require a lot of electrical. So we're very much in tune and connected with that segment as well, working with the end users in these manufacturing facilities that typically require on-site solutions, big requirements for electrical cables and power generation around this. So we see a huge opportunity in that space as well, and working to be part of those solutions for our customers.